Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. When I first heard about what was happening in Swat, I was very disturbed because being from the frontier and being an ethnic Pushtun, I could identify with the pain and the suffering that was going on. We have a home in Bahrain and we knew things weren't right because for 3 years we had not been able to go to Bahrain at all. And when the exodus started, I took it upon myself to send emails to people I knew in the Prime Minister's office and Jason Kenney's office. Since, having been a candidate in the last election, it did give me access to those people. So, the evening before I left for Pakistan, I got a call around 10 o'clock at night and they said that an MP from Edmonton, who happened to be a Sikh, he was going to Pakistan to find out what was happening with the ITPs, primarily the Sikhs. At which point I said, there's a lot of other people too. So they suggested that if I wanted to go, I could accompany him. It was his private visit and it was a private visit for me too. So literally overnight I packed up and we flew into Islamabad. Now when we got there, we faced a novel set of problems because the High Commissioner did not want the MP, because of security reasons, to go into Frontier Province. And they suggested that maybe what he could do is go to Hassan Abdal, visit the Gurdwara, and that was, enough. And I said, but what's the purpose of coming? Because primarily most of the refugees are in Swat, and in Sawabi we need to go and see how those people are doing. Anyway, he was briefed for about 3.5 hours, and after that he came, we went to Mardan. And you see pictures, you see them on TV, but nothing prepares you when you walk into a camp. Now, people who are familiar with Mardan will realize it's a flat ground and it's really, really hot. And most of these tents have been pitched on open ground, and on the bottom of the tent they have a plastic covering. And these people are lying on that covering. And most of the women, when I spoke to them, because my interest primarily was talking to the women and the children and finding out what's happening, because when men fight, it's the women and the children who suffer. And as a woman, I was concerned for the women. Most of them have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 children, and they're in that one tent. And I had taken a bottle of water with me to drink. I realized I didn't drink a drop for about 5, 6 hours. I was so upset at having seen these women. Mostly the women, they were sick, the children were sick. They kept coming up to me and they're saying that, we're getting fed, but we're not getting anything else. It was the same story when I went into the camp in Sawabi. The aid is coming, but somehow it's not reaching them as yet. And I understand it's a slow process. Is when you donate to these charities, there's a lot of red tape and there's, things have to sort of get done. The aid that's getting to them is what the average people are going by themselves and giving food, giving clothes. Now most of these women who've come, because it's cold in Swat, they're wearing thick clothes. They're not prepared for the summer heat of Mardan or Peshawar or Sawabi. So I've seen women who have gone out, bought clothes and have donated clothes. The average Pushtun has come out and has really opened their hearts to them. So when we donate money, we need to ask, where are we giving this money? What percentage is going to them? And how soon does it get to the ground? The children, a lot of them are sick because they are not used to the heat. They wanted fans. A lot of the fans have come, but it takes time before they give them the electricity connection in the camps, and they have promised that they would not have any load shedding in the camps. The food is made, and most of the time they have to line up to get food. Sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't get it. So I was sick at heart. It really, really hit me hard. I thought I was prepared, but I wasn't. And when I spoke to some of the women who were told, go bring your men, and so they can do this for you, they can ask for this. Some of the women said, we're widows, we have no men. Who talks on our behalf? Anyway, whatever complaints they had, whatever camp we visited, we went and spoke to the people who were running the camps. But now, what is happening is that we need to move, and we need to get things across to them. Hi, Jim. Anyway, I did what I could. I had taken some money. I went tent by tent and I gave the women some money, spoke to various people who were in charge, and I don't know if I helped or I didn't help. The other area which I was very keen to sort of help in was just before going, I had seen a report on CTV News about an orphanage in Mingora. And I had seen this man cry because he didn't know how he was going to feed these children. And I was there for 12 days. On the 12th day, I traced the orphanage. They had been moved to Bishar. And I went there was 80 kids. And those children, literally to eat even, have to go across the street and go a couple of houses down, and they're fed there. They had no clothes. They had no shoes. So the first thing I did was I went and I bought 80 pairs of clothes. They wanted tracksuits. I bought joggers for them and I bought socks. I went back and gave that to them. And they were amazed because they said, a lot of people come, they take pictures, and they pose with us, they talk to us, but nobody has ever come back and given us the help that we needed. And then they had a further request. They said, we need some water, and we need some dry milk, and we need some rice. Because every time the children have to be fed, they have to be taken across the street to those, it's a charity, and they feed them. So I went back to the stores, and I picked up the supplies, and I left them. And I've made a commitment to these 80 kids that I will be helping them, and I will be looking after them. I have requests for a wheelchair. I have requests for a kidney patient whose kidneys are failing. There's a lot of work to be done, and lots of times we speak and we say words, but at this point, it's time for action and not words. So whatever you people can give in whichever way, please do so generously. These are our brothers and sisters, and they really need all the help they can get. Thank you.